Hello, it's Anna Beckwith from Yara Consulting here, talking to you today about creativity and innovation. Creativity is, of course, the forerunner of innovation. You really can't have one without the other. And our particular focus is on the sort of creativity that leads to practical and profitable business ideas that you can actually implement. We're also looking, for those of you who think that you're not very creative, at how you can be creative even though you don't think you are. But before that, I have a story for you. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Our story has two characters, Process and Creativity. Now, Process was a very logical sort of chap. He liked things to be running in a very structured and orderly fashion, and he was very good at making things work like that. He was very logical, he was very analytical. Creativity, on the other hand, was always running around looking for new ideas and new ways of doing things. For hundreds of years they worked together side by side, discovering new things. Men of science were also men of creativity. They had to be. Creativity would come up with a new radical idea. What if the world isn't flat? What if it's round? And Process would test those ideas. Between them, they would come up with groundbreaking new things. On the other hand, men of creativity were also men of science, people like Leonardo da Vinci. For hundreds of years it continued thus, but then one day something happened. At around the time of the Industrial Revolution, suddenly there was a demand for factories, for production lines. Now, this was very much Process's thing. Process stepped into the limelight. "Leave this to me," he said to creativity. "This is where my strengths really come to the fore. I know how to set up a process. I know how to get things to run in a logical and orderly fashion. Leave it to me." Process seemed to forget that it was creativity that had come up with these inventions and new ideas. He stepped into the limelight anyway. Process was a little bit worried, actually, once his process was fully set up, that creativity might chip in with some wild and wacky ideas that actually meant upsetting what he had designed, upsetting the process, the logic, the structure, wasting time, wasting money. To be honest, he was also getting a little bit annoyed that creativity was off having all this fun, coming up with new ideas, and what it meant for him, Process, was having to clear up the mess at the end of the day and make sure things still worked properly. Creativity became subdued. And actually, creativity became quite annoyed at Process. "Every time I come up with a new idea," thought creativity, "Process nips it in the bud, tells me that it can't be done because I don't know why I bother." They seem to have forgotten how well they worked together in years gone by. But it didn't have to be this way. So how does the story end? Well, that actually is up to you. Do you have processes that actually stifle creativity within your organisation? In which case, how can you reconnect to that creativity and come up with innovative ideas and practical solutions that can put you ahead of your competitors? I'd like to invite you to have your light bulb moment on a Yara Creativity and Innovation course as we look back at artists and creative people throughout history and consider what was it exactly that they were doing that made them creative, that made them game changers in their own sphere. By instilling those principles into practical activities that you can implement in your business, this will help you overcome barriers to creativity that you might have. Again, as I said at the outset, creativity is the forerunner of innovation. It is the forerunner of practical and profitable business ideas that you can actually implement. Join us. Have your light bulb moment on a Yara Creativity and Innovation course.